Gina Miller, thank you for being here. For Belgians who might not know you, can you briefly explain how you got involved in the Brexit debate?
I actually got involved with a constitutional case that wasn't directly to do with Brexit, but it was saying to the British government that they couldn't negotiate Brexit without parliamentary involvement. So it was a case to say to the Prime Minister, you can't put yourself above the law. Parliament is sovereign and our MPs have to be involved in the process.
So almost 3 years have passed since the Brexit referendum, and there is still no clarity over how the Brexit will look like, or if there even will be a Brexit at all. How do you explain this?
It's very difficult, but I think if you go to the very beginning, nobody in the UK, no politician from either party actually thought the British public would vote to leave. So there was no plan A, B or C, because nobody thought it was going to happen. So all of a sudden they had to try and find a way of undoing 45 years of membership. And it was, I say it's sometimes like a 300-sided Rubik's Cube. You have no idea where to start. And they have been trying to do something that really should take years and years and trying to fit it in to the 2-year time limit under Article 50. And the reason we are no clearer is because it is almost an impossible task. And on top of that, we made it even more difficult by having a Prime Minister who put red lines in the sand and refused to be flexible.
So what is the most likely scenario going forward? A hard Brexit, another revised deal with the EU, or a second referendum, or something else?
At this moment in time, we don't really know what's going to happen. I think one thing we know is that Mrs May's deal is not going to get through Parliament, and then that takes us completely on the unknown. What I'd like to see is for the politicians to take no deal off the table, to at least give UK citizens and businesses, and actually EU member state citizens and businesses, a certainty that it's not going to be no deal, because that's a huge waste of time and effort and money and planning. And from there, then we could talk about what happens next. But it's going to have to be what's called, I think, indicative votes in Parliament to see what there's a majority for. And if there is no majority for anything in Parliament, it will have to go back to the people through another referendum or an election.
And if there would be a hard Brexit, worst case scenario, what do you think would be the impact on the British fund industry and on the economy?
I think if we go to a no deal and no agreed deal exit, a hard exit, whatever you want to call it, the predictions, the government's own reports show that we'll be a minus 9% effect hit on the economy. It would be devastating. It'd be worse than any recession we've ever seen. I mean, a lot of the economists are saying, from both sides actually, that if it's no deal, we will be looking at a sort of a depression akin to the 1920s.